franchise films with the Fast and Furious. Filmed abroad, but they worked on some scenes here in our virtual soundstage #1. There's also the Muppet movie, and that's coming out in November, so look forward to that. Jason Segel and Amy Adams, who star in the Muppet movie. Everybody have a pair of 3D glasses? If you do not have a pair of 3D glasses, wave your hand in the air. All right, keep your hand up, just one pair. All right, we'll make sure we get one for you. Take an extra. Thank you. My pleasure. All right, now that we are getting this show on the road, now I talked about some of the movies we worked on. Cowboys and Aliens, that was another one that I wanted to mention as well. All right, so now I get to introduce you to my new co-host. He is known from Saturday Night Live and Late Night with Jimmy Fallon. Please give a nice warm welcome to Mr. Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, hey there. You made it. Welcome to the Universal Studio Tour. I'm Jimmy Fallon. I'll be making sure that you get through this experience in one piece. You've got the very best guide.
You bet.
And the greatest driver.
Dennis.
They're the best. I love them. Even though
Dennis
owes me $5. I know you guys are excited to get on the tour, but first, a few safety rules.
All right, I talked about a few safety rules, but let's review them again. Pull the cord above you in case of an emergency, and we'll be back to assist you right away. That's right, Frankie. Everyone must remain seated. At all times, this tram is moving, keeping arms and legs on the inside. Once again, please remain seated. At all times, this tram is moving. Oh, I'm sorry, big fella. That's incorrect. There's no smoking allowed on the tram. Be prepared. You can expect to hear loud noises, see fire effects, experience sudden tram movements, and there is a possibility that you might get wet. We're traveling down Universal's movie timeline, and these are original movie posters dating back to 1914. On top, you'll see our famous logo, the globe, and you'll also see how it's changed over the years. Universal Studios is a part of NBC Universal, one of the world's largest entertainment companies. It includes NBC, USA, Bravo, Sci-Fi, Telemundo, CNBC, MSNBC, Universal High Definition, Universal Sports, the Weather Channel, the Golf Channel, Oxygen, and E! We've made countless movies here at Universal. In fact, I have a clip from a 1940s classic that I want you to take a look at. And I want you to see if you can recognize what film this is from.
For you and Mrs. Barrington. Thank you, Will.
Did you hear that? Mrs. Barrington.
Not quite, darling, but soon. Very, very soon. Hello. Yes?
Every bottle of champagne sent to the room at once. And make sure that we are not disturbed for any reason.
That was great. That was great.
All right, I played a little trick on you guys. That was not a classic 1940s movie. Jimmy Fallon, you recognize the bellboy face? He actually shot that inside of our Soundstage 20, and there it is in front of us. Whoa. Soundstage 20 is one of 35 sound stages that we have here on the lot. That's a great example of what it's like on the inside, but what about the outside? Great example on your left, that's soundstage number 12. It's huge. One of the largest sound stages in the world. Take a look at some of the scenes we've actually worked on. On some of the best sets constructed in the business. We built the entire visitor center from Jurassic Park, and get this, the entire city of Whoville for the Grinch. How about that for a set with the pool and everything inside of the soundstage? You can see that's a lot of space, so they can do quite a bit. Well, soundstage number 12 is the largest. Soundstage 25 here on your left, this is the busiest. Soundstage 25, 24, 23, and 22, they're all home to CSI. crime scene investigation. One of the most popular crime dramas on television today, starring Mark Helgenberger and Lawrence Fishburne. These stages are what we call closed sets, meaning that only the immediate cast and crew and invited guests are allowed access. We're also proud to announce that Ted Danson has joined the cast of CSI. Now, if you want to have an opportunity to explore some of the actual sets, make sure that you take our VIP experience. That way, you can be one of those invited guests and have the opportunity to walk on and explore actual sets used for filming. On your right, Soundstage 28, the oldest on our line. In 1925, we recreated the Paris Opera House sets for the Phantom of the Opera, starring Lon Chaney, the man of 1,000 faces in his most famous role. And since that time, we worked on a lot of other eerie scenes as well, inside of Soundstage 28. On your left, Soundstage 27. That is where Jon Favreau directed Daniel Craig and Harrison Ford and Cowboys and Aliens. That movie is now in theaters, but here's a look at some other big scenes shot on Stage 27. We recreated Mission Control for Apollo 13. Ron Howard directed that film, and this one, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And Steve Carell starred in Evan Almighty. Will Ferrell in Land of the Lost. Based on Love, Vince Vaughn's Couples Retreat. And now moving from the big screen to the small screen. The sound stages we're passing here on your right-hand side are where we worked on a lot of popular television shows. Our television history actually goes back more than 70 years with the transmission of the opening day ceremonies of the 1939 New York World's Fair. Since that time, we've gone on to create and produce some of the most successful shows on network TV. Television shows work on an extremely fast schedule. It takes about a week to complete one episode of a television show. That's from the first rehearsal to the final taping. Actually uses Soundstage 44 that stars Greg G. Nelson and Lauren Tram. Now, as I mentioned, television shows work on an extremely fast schedule. It takes about a week to complete one episode of a television show. Movies, on the other hand, totally different story. They can take months, even years to complete. And those projects involve hundreds of people. Some of our favorite television series over the years include the Law & Order series, SVU continues. And there's also Cheers, The Cosby Show. And for now, America's Got Talent. Saturday Night Live, The Voice, The Apprentice, The Office, 30 Rock, just to name a few. On your left-hand side, you'll see our bungalows. Back in the day, those were nice dressing rooms. They were like a home away from home for the big stars. Rock Hudson, Doris Day, Jimmy Stewart, Lucille Ball, Janet Leigh, they all had really nice dressing rooms there. But these days, they are production offices for some of the top production companies in all of Hollywood. Illumination Entertainment is based out of our bungalows. They're responsible for the blockbuster hits Despicable Me and Hop. Also, the folks who work with Parks and Recreation have worked out of the bungalows. Did you guys check out Mr. Potato Head there? Did you see him? Well, he is representing Hasbro. Universal and Hasbro are trying to collaborate to come up with a couple of movies based on some of Hasbro's most popular board games. So that means that Monopoly could end up being a very successful movie. Stretch Armstrong, Battleship, Candyland, all of those are wonderful possibilities. We'll just have to keep our ears open for that. Alright? That does it for the front lot portion of our tour. We're now headed to the back lot where we shoot some big stuff. Exterior scenes on a very large scale. June 1st of 2008, a devastating fire swept through our back lot, destroying almost 4 acres. Well, we knew all along that we had to rebuild, and so the process started immediately. We assembled some of the top filmmakers in the industry to help us to come up with new and improved backlot locations. So here on your screen, You're watching the speeded up version of the rebuilding process of our Metro sets. That was then, but this is now. How you like us now? Check out those modern looking structures with the glass fronts. We can turn those into some serious skyscrapers, I want you to know, thanks to computer generated imagery, or CGI for short. They can make those buildings taller. They can add additional buildings to the cityscape as well. And across the street, you have a more traditional look, our Brownstone Street. We can actually cover an entire metropolitan city by simply turning the camera back and forth across the street. It depends on which angle you choose to shoot, which direction, this door, that door, this window, an entire city. You can never tell the difference. Tricks and illusions in Hollywood, they are something else. Well, our Brownstone Street, here's the update on that. We added a still infrastructure to allow us to have interior and exterior filming as well. A lot of very popular scenes have filmed here. Everything from scenes from The Sting, to people being home alone, to the women of Brewster Straight, to a lady singing the blues. Yeah, lady sings the blues. Working on some scenes here. And let me show you some more things. Yeah, here's something. That was pretty funny, that scene with Jim Carrey.
Grace, the dog!
I'm in the shower!
We worked on the scene with Bruce on my really funny. So Jim Carrey comes running out with a dog, and then he drops him off, and they actually place some artificial grass and trees there. So Jim, do you like these new sets? What do you think?
beautiful.
I think they look pretty swell too. Very realistic. Hard to believe that these are just movie sets and not real buildings. So Brownstone Street could be any town USA, any small town, any big town, from Chicago to New York. Ah, New York. We just made a turn and we're traveling to that totally different part of the country, New York City. These are our New York Street sets on both sides of the tram. My co-host Jimmy Fallon is no stranger to New York City. In fact, I am going to see if I can get him via satellite and he can tell us some more about what it's really like filming in New York City.
Hey everyone, welcome to New York! I got my start right here in New York on Saturday Night Live. This is actually my old neighborhood. Once got mugged over there. An old woman. Tough lady. This is my favorite hot dog guy. Hey buddy, how's it going? Remember me? No. Just like old times. Gotta love New York City. Hey! I'm walking here! I'm walking here! Hey, it's cool guys. I was just walking there. So it's not exactly New York, but a lot of times when you see New York in the movies, it was shot right here on the Universal Metro sets. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Even if you make it here on the Universal lot.